It's Liz Yuille from Old Staples Crafts. I'm a UK-based Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I have got a card to show you, along with some tips on how to do some stamping, particularly for mass production, in a slightly easier way or a quicker way. Do remember that my videos are always cards, 3D items, but paper craft. If you like those sorts of videos, do please subscribe. There's a button in the bottom right hand corner. And if you're in the UK and need any of these products, I would be thrilled if you would try out my customer service. So I'm using the Forever Green stamp set. I've already made one card. I wanted to do a card that had a very different colorway because the Forever Fern Sweet is very much green, but I wanted to do something a little more autumnal, so I've got this one. The colours I have used are Bumblebee, Merry Merlot, Cajun Craze and Cinnamon Cider. So some really nice autumnal colours. The only one I used full strength was Bumblebee. The others I stamped off first and then stamped second generation. And then I've used the spots, this little splatter, for the background on my crumb cake card. And I've started with Bumblebee, bringing that all the way down, then Cinnamon Cider, Cajun Craze, Merry Merlot, all full strength, but just to give this background. And then the little hello, which is in Merry Merlot. And then some of the gilded gems. And the beautiful, now I can't remember what they call this. Is it Rococo Rose? It's definitely Rococo Rose. Is it the gathered ribbon? Anyway, it's in the annual catalogue, and I will list it over on my website if you want to know which ribbon that is. So let me show you where I'm going with the new card. I'm going to use Shaded Spruce for my card base. I've got a piece of the Designer Series paper, which is on sale at the moment, just so you remember. 15% off 15 different packs of Designer Series paper from both the annual and the mini catalogue. So if you like your Designer Series paper, please, please, please stock up now. Measurements will be on my website, but this is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. I will have the measurements for North American cardstock as well. I'm using... Let me gather them all up. I managed to spread them round the place. I am using Just Jade, Soft Sea Foam, Shaded Spruce and Pretty Peacock. And I'm using for my ribbon the reversible Pretty Peacock Old Olive, which again is in the annual catalogue. And I'm going to have the Pretty Peacock side up. Okay, so I've already die cut the images that have matching dies, which are all of these. There are also in the die pack some standalone images that don't have matching stamps. So there's these that don't have matching stamps, but I'm just using the ones with the matching stamps for today. I have done some of the stamping already, but I do want to show you the technique that I've used, which, as I say, is particularly good if you're doing mass production. So let's start with that. And I'm using my Stamparatus. So what I have done is die cut all my pieces from a piece of just Whisper White, and then the easy way to get these lined up so that they work every time is, let me just add this magnet there. You take your stamp and the negative space from your die cut, and you just sort of move it in the space so that it's in the middle. Then close the door. Just got to remember which colour I'm using. That one. Shaded Spruce. I had it all planned out and then I forgot. I'm using second generation, so this is a great way to do it as well, because it means I can ink up my stamp, stamp it, check that it's there or thereabouts, which it is, especially if I just tweak it across a little. It's going to be pretty well covered up anyway, but then I can lay in my die cut and just stamp on that to get my second generation. So if you're doing mass production with lots of die cuts, great way to do it. And literally you can do all of one colour, all of another colour, and it's so quick. So just so you know. So let's clean that up. And I've got a piece of the mini grid paper behind, so that takes all of the excess ink. Otherwise it would be on the slick surface that this comes with, which I can't now get up. So there's a shiny surface, but by putting the mini grid paper in means that you protect your surface, don't get it covered in ink, which is going to get very messy. It'll be a messy cleanup. Okay, so let's pop that to one side. Bring in my card base paper and ribbon. The first thing I want to do, I do need to do one more piece of stamping. The first thing I want to do is get my ribbon in place. So all I'm going to do is look at my paper, and I'm going to have it at about a third of the way. Thirds are really attractive to the eye. Don't ask me why. I don't know, but they are. Thirds are more attractive to the eye than halves. So let's go with thirds. There is that whole rule of thirds. So I'm just going to add some Seal Plus to the back of my designer series paper. Just want to make sure it's in the same place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry about the state of my grid paper. I meant to change it and I forgot. So I want Pretty Peacock up, because Old Olive isn't actually in this paper. So I don't really want Old Olive up. So line up again, pull it so it's taut, not tight. There is a subtle difference. And then there is our, just check that it's straight, because sometimes it does go a little off. No, that's perfect. It's a bit, it's deceptive because of the lines which aren't straight. So let me just fold my card base, grab my bone folder, which is in my handy dandy so I don't lose its shelf. Hooray! Finally got somewhere to keep it where I know it's going to be and it's within easy reach. I know. Who would have thought of it? Not me. Now, I don't often use liquid glue when I'm using designer series paper, but because I want a little bit of wiggle room, I am going to this time. I am, however, putting it on the card, not on the paper. So any wibbly that is a result of putting wet on something thin will be reduced. Wibbly is a technical phrase, you understand. So pop that down and then give it a good press from the back. And there we go. So that's our beautiful card base. I've got a scrap of Whisper White that I'm just going to stamp the hello sentiment, and I'm going to use full strength shaded spruce. So on the previous card I used full strength Merry Merlot, just to tie in with the card base. It just helps with that whole, you know, this is why I did it that colour kind of thing. So ink up my hello, and I want it to not be right at the edge. It's probably going to be crooked, knowing my luck. No, it's not. Hurrah! Okay, that's a miracle. Not crooked on a video. Wonders will never cease. Right, I've got my mini chopper. You can use your ordinary trimmer, but I just want to trim this down so that it's ever so narrow, like that. Get that out. And just going to flag the end a bit closer. There we go. So I'm just going to snip into the middle, and then from corner to the middle. Much easier than trying to do the angle freehand. If you cut in first, very, very much easier. So that's going to go there. So let me grab my liquid adhesive and just give that a smush on the back. And get glue all over my finger. And I want it so that the O's just coming off the edge of the paper. Like that. Then I need to find my scrap of paper so I can get rid of the glue. Let's throw that in the bin so that I know it's got icky on it. Get rid of those bits. Right, so now the fun starts because we get to build up our florals. So let me grab them all. So I've got some in full strength soft sea foam. So these are going to go kind of here-ish. And I will be chopping the bottoms off, some of them, because I don't want them coming out the bottom of the ribbon. So I'm going to chop their bottoms off. Don't need to on that one because it's going to be a bit further up. Right, okay, so I'm going to be using a mixture of liquid adhesive and dimensionals. I've got both sizes, so I'm going to use both sizes. If you've only got large or only got small, that's fine. You can either use more of the small or cut your large down a bit. Either is fine. And I think I can get a large in that gap at the top. Just. So I want there to be some dimension. I don't want everything to be flat onto the card. And I do want this coming off just a little bit. So hold that down, then pop that down. And then I'm going to do much the same thing with this. And again, I'll take a large dimensional, or standard I suppose, because the others are mini. So a standard dimensional, and then pop that there. And again, I'm just going to hold it down so that it's got a chance of sticking there. And then, as I say, I'm not worried about the stalk on this one because it's going to be covered. So just put some adhesive there and a small or mini dimensional right on the top of the leaf. Peel that off and I might actually just tuck it in under for no other reason than there is a space there to do that. And then hold it down again because it's going over something that's now lifted. I just need to hold that in place for a short while. Then I want my pretty peacock, and that's going to come quite a long way down, so I'm going to chop all of its stalk off. And again, I'm going to add some dimensionals on the back. So I think we'll go with a mini just there and a standard there. And then let's not try and take the lid off when I've already taken it off, and just peel the backings off those. Oops. So we've had really odd weather today so far. It started the day kind of damp and humid and really odd. Then we've had a downpour, and now it's actually trying to be quite a nice day. It just doesn't know what it wants to do, frankly. But hey-ho. So again, I'm going to take the bottom off and adhesive there and a large dimensional there. And I'm not going to put anything on that one. And pop that in just there. And then this one's going to just pop on the top there. And again, a little bit of adhesive and a mini dimensional. In, we'll go to a little bit of an angle like that, and just hold that down. Okay, so I've got to trim the end off my hello. So I'm going to do that from the back, like that. Get rid of all my little bits. So the only thing left to do is to add some embellishment. So let's have a look and see what we can add. I could go with the gilded gems again. The Noble Peacock is retired, so won't be using that. Those might work. Don't think snowflakes are quite right. Those aren't the right colours. Those aren't the right colours. I love these. Ooh, no. Blue adhesive gems, no. Oh, we've got these Just Jade. Might, possibly. Or these. These. Can't remember what colours these are in. But I like this. I think that might be shaded spruce. So I might go... Oh, decisions. No, I think I'm going to go with the Holiday Rhinestones. So, let me grab my Take Your Pick. And I will take my pick. So, I think I'll go medium down here. Oh yes, I think they are shaded spruce. Then we'll go large up. We'll nestle in the woo. Nestle in there. And then let's add a teeny one. Actually no, I'll go another large I think, because then I can nestle it in. And we'll go in there. So there you go. Our two cards and my very, very mucky grid paper. So those are our two cards. I will put a liner in. I've said it before, I'll say it again. My writing is so bad that I often have to rewrite the liner. So I tend to wait until I've written the liner successfully and then I put it in. But anyway, I would love you to let me know whether you like the autumnal colours or the traditional Forever Fern colours. I hope you enjoyed the project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. As I say, if you wish to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, hit the notification bell. That would be even better. If you've got any questions or comments, like which one you prefer, please leave those in the comments below. There will be more pictures over on my website, linked below, together with a list of the items that I used, the products I used, and the dimensions in both International A4 and North American cardstock. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Have a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for Simple Stamping Saturday. Thanks a lot. Bye!